Yo, what's going on, guys? So, we're back today with the second part of some building ideas and tips up here in my mountain town, which is progressing, to say the least. So we're just going to go over some more unique things that I think I've come across or done that might be useful to you guys, which don't mind all the crap just placed around. It's just getting it there just to see what it does. So the tower's been taken down. I just didn't like it, and we've replaced it with our Drunken Drake food building, basically, because our fermenters and stuff are over there. So this is basically just the housing for all of our foods. But there's a couple things on the front. So having this lower slant on the front that's different from the top just gives it a different look. But you can actually snap these drakes to the top of the stone pillars, and then I just added another angle or roof beam under that to kind of close that in, just to give it a unique look, and I think it adds a really cool aesthetic to it. I actually really dig the way that it came out. So that's one thing. Coming in here, you can kind of see these archways. You can kind of stack them just to get a little bit more unique wall pieces or options. There's a couple things in here other than that I want to show you, but just know that you can try to get creative with these archways, which there's actually something I want to try here soon, which you might see in a video down the road. But a couple things to be aware of that you guys might not know. A lot of you probably do, but you can put all sorts of stuff on these item stands. These guys right here, these little squares. So you can put tankards, foods, just about every food you can put on there, cooked meats, all sorts of stuff. So you can kind of get creative with that. Same thing up here. These are just the different potions up on a wood beam that is not snapped to anything. It's just left shift and free place. So instead of it snapping into the wall like that, you hold shift and then you can place it on the wall to make wooden block shelves, which I think look really good. Kind of the same thing over here. I don't really like the way this is. I'm probably gonna play with this to make it look a little bit better, but it's just random stuff sitting around. I am just kind of experimenting with the trophies to see, but this kind of turned into our spooky little witch den, which is why all this funky colored stuff is. The dragon egg actually is a pretty reasonable source of light, all things considered, so you can put that on an item stand and have some ambient light. Same thing with the key. This thing is actually a pretty good source of light, and it just hangs up there. It kind of just looks like a clock hand or some sort of, you know, wall decoration. So you can actually put that on a key also. Something to be aware of, which is pretty cool. Adding just simple beams on the roof can add quite a bit to a space and make it not so bland, but that is our Drunken Drake. It came out really cool, actually. I really dig the way that it ended up. Windmill, I just hollowed out a spot and walled it off just so it had somewhere to sit, so there's nothing really special there. There's a couple other things. So this building is still kind of a work in progress, so I've got to play with the roof a little bit to get it to look not so square, but this is kind of taking the old school building tactics of like something like Minecraft and applying it in here. So you start with a smaller footprint, so say like a 3x3 right angle, build it up with stone, and then I'll show you up here. You can see that is the border of the stone there, and then there's like basically just a half floor overhang. So it's a relatively small footprint, but you actually get a decent amount of space out of it, all things considered. Doing something like this, since there's an overhang, this is stone in this corner here, so you can add like 3 pillars here to place a campfire up on the second floor, instead of it being down here, and that you can kind of see back there in the corner. So I actually ended up going back and adding these pillars to the corners just to add extra depth. Same thing with these wooden beams. It's kind of got that medieval wall look, so you just add the 45s and snap them up there and so on. And it gives it just a good textured look, which I actually really like. Don't mind this side over here. I'm still playing with that aspect. This up here, I wish I tried to put dandelions on the item stands. It doesn't let you, but This is just a simple half wall or half floor basically snapped under that window, boxed off, and then on the inside it actually you can fill it in with a whole floor if you want, but makes like a table with a window sill with like a little what would be a planter box, but as far as I've tried, I can't get any actual plants on it, so don't mind that. But these beams you can also get rid of if you didn't want them. I just left them just for the sake of having them. But yeah, this house is still a work in progress, but it was more or less just a testing of a concept for building with the smaller base with the slightly bigger top. I'm also working on expanding. I'm going to build into this area here. This is runestone confirmed, apparently, the tallest mountain in the map that spawns, which is kind of neat. There's a runestone talking about the tallest peak in Valheim or something like that, so it's kind of cool. But this is taking quite a while. I don't know if I want to go up and through that wall over this or just try to build out a big platform up here to keep doing stuff with, but that is a work in progress, which you will probably see some more of down the road, but that is just the way that is right now. There's a couple more things that I've done. This next thing is something I did see on the Reddit, and it was something pretty cool that a lot of you could probably get some good use out of. And it's this portal wall. So this is 2 stone foundations deep with the wall behind the portal snapped to the front half of the second foundation. And then you just do 2 stone pillars with archways, and it makes like this nice little circular spot for you to keep your portals. You can put signs up there and label them. This is all done on a 1-click turn. So that's like that. Just click it one more time, snap it, one more time, snap it. So you can do a big semicircle if you wanted. This is just all I needed up here, and I'm also just trying to fit it into the space, which is why this angle is as ugly as it is, but, you know, it's not terrible. But also adding these extra 2x1s up here just to add a little bit of depth, because depth is what adds a lot to some building structures, just to get a little bit of extra angles and variations of depth planes to make it look more interesting. I applied the same concept to this. This is a dragon egg nest, actually, which was annoying. I thought I'd be able to bury it like you could the rune stones, but you cannot. So instead, I just boxed it in, raised the ground over it, and was going to plant trees. Apparently, I couldn't plant trees over top of it, so instead, we've just got double hearths, which is kind of nice, because when you come through this portal, sometimes you're freezing or wet or whatever. So this will dry you off. But it's just 2 hearths fit inside with the little wood beams placed in the open spaces to kind of make it snug, which is kind of hard to tell, but it's there. There's this here. These are gravestones, which is more like makeshift graves, but these stone piles, they're really finicky. You're going to have to mess with it to get it to work properly, but you can kind of clip them into each other and make like a little pile, like you stacked up stones for a grave. So these are just 2 people that have not played with us in a while, so we thought it would be funny to put down these little graves for them. But you could probably expand on this and make it a whole lot more interesting or unique looking. It's just something I thought I'd throw in here because I haven't seen it anywhere else yet. Again, full credit to this wall. On Reddit, I don't remember who the post was by, but I saw it. It was like a big overshot of a base, and I saw this in the back, so I just went out in the field and played around with it until I figured out the depth and everything to make this work. And it is pretty cool. I think a lot of people would have use for this because it looks way more organized and nice than, you know, having a building with them just shoved in there like we all have done already. And I'm actually going to go show you one last thing. Should be through here. Hopefully I don't get death-skeetoed while I'm here. So this is my plains farmland. I'm actually just going to eat one of these just in case. Building docks is obviously a big pain in the butt. So you can raise the ground and make a little parking spot. This was more so just a proof of concept, just an idea to play with, which is why it's kind of small. But it works for its purpose, and the boat's been here for a long time and hasn't died yet, so But you can always build like an indoor like parking spot kind of for it instead of trying to build a dock, since this game's dock building is really a big pain in the butt, to be honest. But again, same concept here with these X's, so you can apply this to a lot of different stuff. But I think that's all I've got for you today. I'm going to leave it there, and we will continue this series, I think, as I expand and come up with some new stuff, or if I see more unique stuff that I haven't seen everywhere, just to try to get it out there a little bit more, because the building in this game is pretty in-depth. So there's definitely probably going to be some more of these coming out, so keep an eye out for them. Again, keep an eye out on my Twitch. I probably am going to get more of a schedule going here soon and start streaming Valheim a little bit, get more consistent, and then do videos on the off days, depending on how I'm feeling, or, you know, whatever. But keep an eye out on the Twitch. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. So I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.